Hi everybody, this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. So today's featured violin is the Zubak Soloist. So we sell several different grades of Zubaks. One thing that the Zubaks all have in common is that they offer a lot of violin for the money, and they're all pretty much meant for an advanced player, right? So we have all kinds of advanced players who buy the Zubaks or the Vidiceks. They could be in high school, they could be semi-professionals, they could be professionals, it could be people going into college. So a wide variety of people buy them. And the reason is because they have the best materials. A lot of time has been spent by a master luthier building these. They offer a very complex sound, they're very responsive, they're set up really well, and they're really beautiful to look at. So you may be wondering, if you're looking at different videos or instruments, which one should I buy? Should I buy a Vidicek Master Series or a Zubak Master Series or a Zubak Soloist? Well, once you get into this echelon of instrument, you might want to participate in our in-home trial program, right? So if you can't decide between, let's say, the Zubak Soloist and the Zubak Master Series, right? Then, because the difference is sometimes a little bit subjective, because both of the instruments are really good, so it can be a little bit subjective. So if you're having a hard time deciding between two different instruments, just use our in-home trial program. It's really cheap. You just basically are paying shipping. We'll send you a couple of violins. You can play these violins to your heart's content. Play them for a month and a half. Just play them a lot, compare, and your favorite violin will show you who it is, pretty quickly. You'll fall in love with your violin. So I highly recommend that. So a little bit of things about I'll mention about the Zubak Soloist. So of course, you're going to get, the highest quality maple in the back, AAA, beautiful flame. This is a great example. It looks like a typical, Strad, with the wide, tiger flame on the back. And of course, a lot of flame on the maple and the absolute top grade, tight grained spruce on the top, grown in the best climates, aged properly, and it's going to be older wood. The finish is going to be highly complex, hand-rubbed oil finish. It's very thin, but yet very beautiful, and it's going to allow the instrument to ring really well. And of course, it's just a gorgeous instrument with some slight, shading here on the bows, you can see, but it's not antique too much as a general rule. And of course, the fittings are going to be like the highest quality fittings. And they're probably going to be decorative as well, right? These are the highest quality ebony fittings here on the pegs, the fingerboard, and the chin rest. And of course, you have a matching tailpiece here. Now, generally with this level of violin, you're always going to see a really high quality ebony tailpiece with one fine tuner. Now, if you want ball in versus loop in, you just let us know, right? Because remember, we custom set up every violin for our customers. We can customize it for you, or you can just buy it as it is, as seen on the internet. But if you want your violin customized, you just let us know. Just send us an email, drop us a phone call, leave us a message. We'll put one fine tuner, two fine tuners, four built-in fine tuners, ball end, loop in, doesn't matter. We won't charge you any extra. You just let us know what you want and we'll make sure it's set up. So I'll just talk about the setup really quick. Well, actually, before I mention the setup, I just want to mention something about these instruments in particular, this level of instrument. What you're paying for, in case you didn't know, is you're paying mostly for the internal carvings of the violin. So when you have a master luthier working with a really great piece of wood, he's going to spend a lot of time carving that piece of wood just right. All the thicknesses on this violin are different everywhere. Believe it or not, it's not just one piece of wood, and it's not molded, it's not steamed, it's actually carved. So you have thicker spots on the violin, and then you have thinner spots on the violin. And there's hundreds of points here that are all different thicknesses, and a master luthier is going to carve this violin to the characteristics of that particular piece of wood, right? Because all wood is different grain patterns, different densities, stuff like that. So that's why this violin has been maximized by the luthier, and then when we set it up, it's also maximized, right? So that's why Kennedy Violins is special, why we're different, right? So we make sure that the final assembly and setup of all our violins, no matter which violin you get, is done in Washington State. So I'm in Washington recording right now. There's a whole team of luthiers behind this wall, and they're setting up customer violins right now. So we make sure every instrument is maximized for its potential and it's as easy to play as possible. So we spend a lot of time on the French Aubert bridge. We make sure it fits the violin perfectly. We make sure that arching is done just right, the string spacing, the string height, which is important, especially in the upper positions, right? We make sure we plane that fingerboard just right, so the double stops are nice and in tune, or as in tune as, they can be with, you behind the wheel, right? How much time did you practice today? All right, we spend a lot of time on the nut, the string spacing at the nut, the string height above the nut. And when you put all that together, you get an instrument that's, maximized, like I say, for its potential, and it's as easy to play as possible. And the great thing is when you buy a violin like this, after 6 months or a year of you playing it, it's going to sound way, 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 way better. New violins never sound as good as a violin that's, decades old or whatever. But when you have a good violin that's got nice strings on it, as long as you keep playing it, it's going to mature and it's going to sound twice as good in 6 months to a year. And these violins will sound amazing after about 6 months or a year playing. So when you receive your violin, it'll not only be ready to go, be completely set up, ready to play, but it also comes with a complete outfit. So you get case, bow, rosin, and maybe some other goodies. And the case in particular is really nice. It's a professional case. It's got tons of storage in it. It's a full oblong, full suspension case. It protects your instrument as much as your instrument can possibly be protected. And it's really just nice looking case to look at. And like I said, you could store everything, including your sheet music and a picture of your Aunt Viola. So remember, here at Kennedy Violins, we're all players and teachers. So if you have any questions in the future, or if you want your violin set up a very specific way, just give us a call, contact us. Remember, we are players and teachers, so this is what we do. We know these instruments really well. Tell us what your particular position is, what you want in a violin, how many years have you been playing, how much do you practice, do you have a teacher, do you not, are you, in your school orchestra, are you in college? You just let us know your situation and we'll match you up with the instrument that best suits whatever your needs are. So with that, I hope you guys have a great day.